Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read these amusing yet nauseating things so you don't have to. John Bolton, a prolific note-taker, is the impeachment inquiry's biggest wild card. Axios. The New York Times. Bolton knows about many relevant meetings on Ukraine, lawyer says. USA Today. Ex-Trump aide John Bolton has deal for book. The Week. Trump aides are reportedly worried about John Bolton's meeting notes. Hollywood Reporter, former National Security Advisor John Bolton has a book deal. Okay. And then John Bolton dismayed over, this is hilarious, he wants to be called to Congress. Oh my God. He's dismayed that he hasn't been called to Congress, which is hilarious. Even the Democrats don't want him. This is kind of funny. John Bolton's like, I have notes. Look. Okay. They're going to impeach Trump for nonsense. This whole thing's nonsense. Okay. First of all, Trump knows, the president knows, and I know, and you know, because I wrote in the Huffington Post in 2017, Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. There is not a chance in the universe that Joe Biden becomes president or that Joe Biden becomes Democratic Party nominee. There's as much of a chance as Biden becoming nominee as Warren and Bernie. Warren and Bernie Sanders, they've split whatever movement you want to call it, a bowel movement, whatever. They have now not only eviscerated Medicare for all, people like Biden and Clinton, who is going to be the nominee, who's running, obviously, the whole thing. All of this is for two people who run the Democratic Party. Okay, Madam Secretary and her husband. Okay, two-term president. But nobody believed that Biden is President Trump doesn't believe Biden is his direct political rival. That's number one. Number two, the notion that he would try to investigate Biden to interfere in the election is absurd. The whole Russia nonsense that was fabricated by Clinton's Steele dossier and by corrupt intelligence officials who will eventually get indicted, especially Andrew McCabe, by John Durham. But this notion that Russia worked with Trump because they fear Clinton, that's nonsense also. They don't fear Hillary or Bill. Putin met with Bill Clinton at his home outside Moscow. This is a fact. President Zelensky of the Ukraine never felt threatened, never felt pressured, never felt leveraged by President Trump. He stated that already. So is Zelensky working for the Trump administration? Is the president of the Ukraine working for the Trump administration? Are Democrats speaking for Ukraine's president? The president and his predecessor, President Poroshenko, both stated they were not leveraged or felt any pressure from Trump. So what's the problem? Oh, the word though in the transcript. They have lost it. They've completely lost it. So they're trying to say that he pressured the Ukraine, and now John Bolton has notes. Well, who cares? Nobody cares what the homeless walrus thinks. Nobody cares. Even Democrats don't want him to testify. I don't know why, but he's willing to testify. He wants to testify. Maybe they'll probably get him. Adam Schiff is like, well, everything I do backfires, so what do I do now? Maybe we'll get Bolton. But he wants to give the Democratic Party, because he feels wronged. Look, Trump hired Bolton because he's a yes man, not because of his knowledge on foreign policy. These people have obliterated countries with their failed foreign policy, and Clinton included. Definitely, especially Clinton. And so it wasn't like his knowledge or his success in terms of foreign policy. He's a yes man, and he appeased the neocons on the left, so they left him alone. But Trump does his own thing. Let's put it this way. President Trump is going to win because people trust his instincts more than they do the alleged intelligence of people like Hillary Clinton. But anyway, the issue is Bolton has notes on meetings pertaining to the Ukraine. Big deal. Who cares? Does he have notes about Hunter Biden? The whole point of the conversation when Trump said, you know what, if you could investigate this, is that there is a possibility that Biden engaged in wrongdoing, misconduct, or even criminal activity. Not very unlikely any criminal activity, extremely unlikely, but it definitely wrongdoing or misconduct is a possibility based on the conflicts of interest that Kenneth Vogel of the New York Times documented. That James Risen, of the New York Times in 2015 documented before he wrote his Intercept article saying, I didn't mean that. That John Solomon documented in The Hill. So you have real journalists. You have brilliant journalists in Kenneth Vogel and in John Solomon who have already documented the conflicts of interest. And there's evidence that these conflicts of interest could have influenced the vice president because he's on video. That video of him saying, you're not going to get the $1 billion in aid until you fire the prosecutor, by the way, he didn't say this, but just happens to be investigating his son's corporation funneling money to his son, I should say. That's the only, that video is the only time he's coherent this whole election season. Listening to Biden speak is like listening to an old cassette tape that was left in a bathtub full of water for 10 days and then dried out, and then you try what is this? What's going? I can't even make out anything he's saying. Here's your cornflakes and grape nuts. I defeated them. He's not going to be... The whole thing's absurd. So now, they keep on, Manafort, he's going to flip and sing. We now have John Bolton. The Steele dossier is raw intelligence. They're wrong on everything. They don't even have the pulse of what's going on. They're wrong on everything. Everything they're wrong. Clinton might win Texas. No, she won't. She's not. She's unelectable. I wrote in The Hill, The Huffington Post, and Salon. And I wrote in the Huffington Post in 2017, Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. Now, not only is Clinton running, she will become the Democratic Party nominee, obviously. Now you have Michael Bloomberg, and then Eric Holder is going to get into the race. It's going to get into the contest okay. Obviously, it's to pave the way, because there needs to be a path. The fact that she will lose again is completely irrelevant. Stop. Don't ever bring it up again. Don't ever tell anyone, why would she run? She's going to lose. Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say that. Don't even think that. It's completely irrelevant. Now, Clinton wants to win, and she probably believes she still can. But she doesn't care at all if she loses, because she'll run in 2024. And if you think that's absurd, you just wait until this election. We ain't seen nothing yet. We haven't seen anything yet. This is going to be God bless him, one of the great rappers in the 90s, the MC Breed election. Ain't no future in your frontin'. With Democrats, it's the only future we have is frontin'. The only future Democrats have is to pretend there's something they're not. So now we see all the voices that told you about Medicare for All, who said vote Clinton in 2016 or vote Clinton in swing states. Now you see that you know what? The Democratic Party doesn't want Medicare for All. They don't want a Green New Deal, and they don't want to abolish ICE. So they want Clinton 2020. And let's put it this way. Biden is still the front runner. And his campaign is like horrendous. His campaign's losing money. You have a campaign that's losing money. How does that work? And you're the front runner. And this is a charade. This is the worst charade of all time. This is a horrible theatrical performance. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. So anyway, John Bolton has notes and memos. Nobody cares. And his book, he has a book deal, and, you know, if you run to the bookstore to get John Bolton's book, you have a very interesting life. Because Republicans aren't going to. I mean, maybe Democrats aren't going to. So then who's going to... You know, your claim to fame is that you helped George W. Bush completely obliterate and destroy countries. So then... With that resulted in unintended consequences. And let me say that is not... Okay, the foreign policy decisions of Bush and Obama have nothing to do with the heroism and courage and sacrifice and honor of the veterans of this country. And God bless you. If you're a veteran, God bless you and your family. Thank you. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. And God bless the veterans of our country. And the reason that people like John Bolton and people like George W. Bush and Dick Cheney and Rumsfeld and Clinton and President Obama, the reason that civilian leaders, the reason that we should as a country bring home Americans, that's what drives me. That's how you go from Bernie to Trump. You want to scale back U.S. foreign policy. You don't want to use American soldiers as chess pieces. Well, we had to keep them there because it would serve as a deterrent to Putin. That's not a military objective. Being a deterrent indefinitely is not a specific military objective. General Daniel Bolger wrote Why We Lost, a book titled Why We Lost. And it's because the United States military is not meant for prolonged, endless interventions. There's supposed to be a quick military, decisive military victory, and you get out. But again, this is lost upon people like John Bolton, who think that if you asked him, he thinks that the Bush years were great, that President Bush's foreign policy was a success. So what can you do? But nobody cares about Bolton's notes. What they're doing with impeachment is the following. They're getting a whole bunch of people who think that Trump tried to pressure the Ukraine to investigate Biden. Okay. All of these people don't think that Biden had any conflicts of interest. So what are you going to do? There's the intelligence operative that wrote a complaint about Trump also met with Adam Schiff's staff and Democrats before he wrote the complaint. And he's tied to Biden. So, I mean, the whole thing is hilarious. But it doesn't matter. They're going to impeach him anyway. Clinton's going to run. The IG report's going to come out. They're going to impeach President Trump. McCabe's going to get indicted. And so, this is going to be an amazing couple of months. And then President Trump's going to win re-election. It's November 11, 2019, people. And, you know, the best they can come up with is the homeless walrus has notes. I mean, they're running on fumes now. You got to feel bad for the Democratic Party. I mean, they used to have Mueller time. Now they have Bolton's notes. Wah, wah, wah. They've gone from Mueller time to Bolton's notes. Wow. What a fall from glory. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. We have to live through this charade up until Clinton finally finds a path, and people will be like, oh my God, she's running. Oh my God, we didn't even think she would. Democrats, it's going to be the worst time ever for Democrats because they're going to be like, oh my God, what do we do? We have to rally behind Clinton, but there are people who might be like H.A. Badman. Give me your thoughts below. When Clinton runs, look. I am the biggest Hillary Clinton supporter on YouTube. Oh, if you said vote Clinton 2016 and you're going to say vote Clinton 2020 and you pretend to dislike the fact that Hillary Clinton's running, no, I'm not going to allow that. If you say a derogatory word about Hillary Clinton, you'll have me to contend with. Because guess who's endorsing Clinton? That's right, Bernard. Bernard Sanders. The prophecy will be complete when Bernie endorses Clinton for the second time in 4 years. 5 years, whatever, 4 years. That will be both sad and amusing, and frustrating, and just depressing, and hilarious, and depressing, and amusing. Give me your thoughts below. Clinton's running, everyone, and people are getting indicted like McCabe. And they're going to impeach Trump, and Clinton will lose again. And the IG report's going to come out. It's going to be very interesting next couple of months. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so very much. Check out H.A. Goodwin's other channel right now.